In this video, I'm going to talk about which slimes are worth getting in the game, what order you really should get them in, and which ones to maybe kind of just avoid unless you really just do want to have all the slimes. Now, this is going to vary depending on whether you're free to play or you're willing to purchase slimes with real money. I'm going to go over it both ways. I'm going to start with free to play, and then I am going to talk about some of these paid slimes as well. So for free to play, really your best slime that you should be saving up for and your highest priority should be Yolanda. Yolanda is going to cost, I believe it's 8,000 gems to get, but she is the only double S tier slime that you can get for free with gems currently. And so really that's just going to be the best power wise, because you can see as well as just having better quality skills depending on the rank, these unique skills as you level them up. Also, they just have better base stats that will scale better as you level them up as well. So if we go to Yulissa, you'll see level 1, 2 attack, 4 HP. An S slime, Isabel, 10 attack, 20 HP. Where with Yolanda, because she is a double S tier slime, she gets 15 attack and 30 HP, which obviously will just scale as you level her up as well. So if I go and max her out real quick, you'll see she gets a good chunk of attack and HP compared to if I go and just pick, I don't have ARP uncapped, but Isabel, this is 4 levels short, but you can see 32.6 thousand attack, 41.9 HP. That was 4 levels shy, but you can just see it was definitely less than Yolanda. So just because of that, Yolanda, if you're free to play, is going to be your highest priority to save up those gems and purchase her, because she's going to be really the strongest slime you get. Now, second with free to play is actually going to be Maggie. And Maggie's unique because Maggie is an S tier slime, but she actually has the same attack, just scaling as all of these other attack and HP scaling as a double S tier slime. So these double S tier slimes that all have 15 and 30. Maggie actually has that 15 and 30 base as well, so she's going to stack better. She really just has good abilities too. The downside, and not downside to Maggie, the issue with Maggie is she is only available at limited times. So she was first released in Halloween of 2024, and then she was actually only initially purchasable for real money. And then after a while, she went on sale for gems. And then periodically, they've said they kind of do plan to reintroduce her at certain points in time. But if you didn't purchase her, a lot of times there isn't any way to actually get her. So you do, in order to get Maggie, you will kind of need to just keep an eye out and see if she goes on sale again and if you can pick her up for gems. But ideally, if you can grab Maggie, she's a super good slime. She is another special element slime, so you will need a lot of those special slime stones if you're already using Yolanda. But if you can get her, really good. Stats-wise, she's just really powerful. Now, on to the next section of slimes. So we have these other S-tier slimes, which these are all purchasable with gems. At the beginning of the game, there will be an offer to purchase Chilbert with real money, but if you just wait for that to expire, you'll be able to purchase Chilbert with gems. I believe all of these 4 should be 5,000 gems a piece as well. It's 5,000 or 2,500. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you can purchase all these slimes as well. I would actually recommend prioritizing Yamelet. Now, Yamelet isn't necessarily the strongest slime of the group, just as far as all her different abilities and stuff. But Yamelet she becomes very useful in starting at about the hard mode chapters, at around chapter 8, just because she has some unique abilities that HP recovery derived from lifesteal can exceed 50% of the upper limit at level 150. That's a really key upgrade. And then she also has a passive skill where her Yamelet's HP is just increased by up to 100% if you have her fully maxed out. So whether you're free to play or pay to play, Yamelet actually is a good slime to get. I'm using her right now because I am trying to beat those chapters 8, 9 in hard mode. those Yamlet is a really key slime to have for those. And then after that, if you have Yolanda, possibly Maggie, and then you can go for Yamlet. You can get Soli as well. Now, if you have Maggie, you don't necessarily need Soli, but Soli is a good slime just because he has a cool level 150 ability. Helps survivability quite a bit. Then from this point on, really, you do have Chilbert, Isabel, Yana. Willer you can get for free at the beginning of the game if you complete that. I believe it's a 7-day challenge. And then Yolissa and Arp. You don't really need any of these other ones. If you have Yolanda, Maggie, Yamlet, and then possibly Sol if you want them. Chilbert and Isabel, they can be useful for certain stages in hard mode that might need a fire slime for a buff or a water slime for a buff. Yana's the same way too. There's a hard mode stage like 4 or 5 that wind slimes get. But if you get a buff if you have a wind slime in your team, and then if you do a wind in a special slime, you actually get an additional buff. But really, you can pass the stage without her, especially if you have a Yolanda and a Maggie. You'll be just fine. It might take a little longer, but really outside of that, Yana doesn't have much usability. So really, in the long run, that's not a slime you're going to want to invest a lot into. Now, if you have just loads of spare gems, you're welcome to unlock them all. I did it just for kicks. But that is all the free slimes you can get. Now, on to paid slimes. So the paid slime I'm going to start with is actually Veinley. This isn't necessarily because you're going to use them just battling at all. The only reason you'd actually want to use Veinley is just for his luck capability. Veinley is also the cheapest of the pay slimes. I think I got him for like $1.30 or something. But the luck abilities at level 100 and 175, they bonus your chance of getting equipment, epic, S tier, and S tier legendary equipment within this epic chests. I covered the changes in a separate video, just kind of detailing how that works. But after Veinley, so really the slimes you want to purchase, if you are willing to purchase slimes, are going to be Nepris and Chloris, which I don't have Chloris available yet. Chloris is coming in the most recent update, which will be available for iOS, hopefully in the next week or two. Nepris is generally considered the more stable slime just because he is tankier and just really can defeat waves more consistently. Chloris is more damage heavy but still a really powerful slime. So Chloris and Nepris are the two top slimes. If you had to pick one, I'd probably go for Nepris, but if you can get both, I would get Nepris and Chloris. They are just the two powerful slimes in the game. They'll help you a lot for hard mode, and Chloris can just do some cool stuff as far as damage scale ability and can be helpful for defeating league waves and stuff. So beyond that, there are aside from Veinley, there are 3 other paid slimes you can get. There's Volcan, Win, and Vinamira. Now, really, if you have Nepris and Chloris, as well as Veinley, there's no reason you really need to get any of these other 3. They're fun to play around with, but they all kind of have some different drawbacks and aren't necessarily as good. Vinamira actually has some cool stuff, that multi-attack chance. She can be kind of useful in a few stages, but like Volcan, she actually doesn't have any survivability. Chloris does struggle with that same thing to an extent, but Chloris, just because of how much power she has, she is a slime worth getting. But Vinamira, Volcan, and Win, they are all just more damage focused. And so Nepris, it really is the solid go-to one. If you're going to purchase a slime, Nepris is the one to go for, then Chloris. But hope that kind of explains stuff. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any comments, though.